The year is 1819, and the place is the English Lake District. This is a land of rolling fells. It's also the home of walking poets, a name history would later bestow upon them. Among them is William Wordsworth. He wasn't just a poet, he was a pedestrian. His sister Dorothy was his constant companion. They weren't just strolling for exercise, their walks were their work. Every morning they would set out from their cottage in Grasmere. He'd be lost in thought, composing verses in his head, his face turned towards the hills. Dorothy, ever keen the observer, would be walking by his side, her journal in hand. Their walks were a living conversation. He would speak a line of poetry, and she would respond with a description of the light of the water or the song of a thrush. It was on one of these walks that Dorothy noted a long belt of daffodils stretching along the water, an observation that would later become the seed for William's most famous poem. Their walking was a shared act of creation, a collaboration of mind and spirit. Coleridge, another poet, would join them. The three of them would walk the winding paths, their conversation weaving together theology, philosophy, or the humble details of a primrose. The miles they walked were an act of shared presence that deepened their understanding of each other and the world around them. The walking was the beat that kept their friendship and their creativity alive. It was in the simple act of putting one foot in front of the other together that they found not just inspiration, but true and lasting connection. They were a community, not just in a house or a town, but on a path, with the wind and the sky as their constant witnesses. I'm standing here before you as a witness also of the same process of connecting as we walk. Sunday Saunters began in December 2024 with an icy stroll along Helens Bay. You can see the pictures will begin to roll here on the screens. From that Sunday, we have walked at over 30 locations, taking on board the environment we walk in. The catching up of the week, the connecting, had all become an integral part of our week, and the walking together is the excuse. The rolling photos on the screens are evidence of the bonding of relationships, the enjoyment of God's creation, and the simple learning of each other and the country in which we live. When we walk, especially in a group, the scientific secret sauce is actually behavioral synchrony, the act of moving in time with others. Research suggests that when humans engage in coordinated physical activity, our brains reward us with a significant chemical cocktail, primarily dominated by endorphins. There is something called the pain threshold test. In various studies, researchers measured endorphin release by testing participants' pain tolerance after exercise. Groups that moved in sync, in other words, walking or rowing together, showed a much higher pain tolerance compared to those who did the same exact exercise alone. Personally, I suffer from knee pain. I start out with a limp, but by the end of the walk, I'm pain-free. When endorphins are released during group movement, they don't just kill pain, they create a sense of social bonding. Sunday Saunters have a core group of regular walkers, but this last July we saw the largest number of to join us for a yearly picnic at the Silent Valley Mountain Park, where 34 of our church family enjoyed fellowship in the most stunning of locations. The endorphins were flying then. Moving forward into the second year of Sunday Saunters, we would like to invite you to take up a regular spot on the group and meet us every Sunday at 11 o'clock. At the end of the reel, I have created a QR code. Please scan that QR code at the end of the video or scan the one on the notice board to join the WhatsApp group through which we post our weekly meet with a Google pin. I hope you have enjoyed some of the best photos over the last 12 months. And if you have any further questions just about joining the event, don't hesitate to approach myself or my husband Neil. Thank you for your time and for listening.